Welcome again, Dr. Chris, Nikki, Dr. Otto. I'd like to start off this conversation with a scenario. I'm 350 pounds. I've worked really hard, brought up my family, paid for them through college, and kind of lived a quite stressful life. Fast food, convenient food, a hectic schedule, like most people. But now I'm obese, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, other health issues, bad diet, bad lifestyle. I come to Physicians Weight Control and Wellness Centre. What do you do for me? What can you do for me?
Well, we look at it in a comprehensive format. When you walk in the door, we don't have a program that we want to fit that we want you to fit into. We have a program that's we're going to adjust to fit your lifestyle, because everybody's a little bit different. And the first thing we're going to do is evaluate your health. And myself or Dr. Otto or one of our nurse practitioners will do that evaluation. We do an EKG, make sure your heart's good and going to be okay to do some of the things that we're going to ask you to do. We do a comprehensive lab panel. We check your cholesterol and your liver and all the, what'd you say, type 2 diabetes. We check all of that. And in addition to that, we are always checking to see if there's a thyroid issue, because sometimes that's a hidden factor. So we're going to do a comprehensive health evaluation. You're going to sit across from either the doctor or the nurse practitioner, and we're going to talk about that. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to know your history. I want to know what brought you to this point. What has been successful for you in the past? If you've lost weight at some point in your life, what did you do? How did that happen? And then let's talk about if you regain that weight, what happened? If you've never had success, we're gonna try to find something that's gonna give you success. And so we use a multi faceted approach. Every individual patient has some different aspect of their weight management that's different than the other. There are so many factors that come into play. And so you have to do a comprehensive physical evaluation to be able to pinpoint some of those things that might be helpful to approach in the treatment and the management. So that's what's going to happen the first time. The thing that I want you to walk away with from your first visit is some help. We're going to give you a medication if it's deemed necessary and helpful. We're going to give you a medication that's going to help you with your appetite. We're going to give you some education on how to make some different changes. I'm going to find out what your life is like. Are you 5 nights a week at a soccer practice or a basketball practice with your kids, or do you have some time to go to the gym? Or if how are we going to fit this in? And how are we going to incorporate some exercise? And how are we going to change your nutrition that's going to be able to be doable in your life? And so those are going to be different for everybody that sits in front of me. But the ultimate goal is to help you make the changes in your nutrition, to not just lose weight. The first goal is to stop gaining. Okay, and the 1A and 1B. 1A is to stop gaining. 1B is to start to make better, healthy choices. We'll see the scale numbers go down as we make those changes.
And so I'm engaged already in the program, and I've decided, hey, I'm going to take a look at my nutrition. So I'm then passed on to Nikki. So what are you going to do for me, Nikki?
What I'll do is I will ask them to bring any labs that Dr. Chris has run for them. I will take a look at the nutritional deficiencies that they'll undoubtedly have. I will look at their cholesterol level. I will look at if they have thyroid issues. That does adjust what foods I will give them, because people with thyroid issues, you tend to have them stay away from raw broccolis, anything that has any real truly cruciferous vegetables. I think I said that right. That's always a word that gives me a
Cruciferous.
cruciferous. It always gives me a hard time.
I'm not making this word up.
No, it is fine.
But it's
That's
the
it.
goitrogens in the cruciferous vegetables that can actually hinder thyroid production. So
Oh, right, okay.
yeah. And so you're wanting to make sure that you're not giving them stuff that's going to be detriment to their health journey. And I'll review all of this. We'll sit down, and again, I'll do the same things. I will ask them about their lifestyle. I will ask them about their eating habits, how they ate while they grew up, what kind of stress is in their life, do they do any kind of exercising, and we start tailoring a program towards their eventual success of not needing me and being able to make the healthy food choices on their own. I educate on what a carbohydrate truly is, because that is the biggest myth in the world of, I can't eat it because of carbohydrates. Okay, do you understand what a carbohydrate truly is? That it's actually leafy green stuff. That's carbohydrate. That is the stuff your body needs. Versus, if it says carbohydrates, I just won't eat it. Which I have had people tell me. And they'll walk away with their first visit 3 food changes and at least 1 or 2 lifestyle changes. So it's okay, we're going to work. I will ask them, I'll pull a list together and say, okay, you've told me this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue. What would you feel like you can fit into your lifestyle this week to be able to change? And it could be eat more green vegetables, or at least 2 cups more than I do, or drink more water. And we'll have a plan of action of helping them get more water in the system, whether it's an alarm on their phone, which is what I do, because I still have to be reminded, or it's a water bottle because people like the visual of, I've drank this at this time, this at that time. And then I'll look at lifestyle. Okay, is there something that you can cut out of your life that will help with your stress level? Can you maybe spend a minute just decompressing and doing a small amount of meditation, or finding a yoga class that you might like to do? So that at the end of our session, they're seeing that it's small little steps to get to the bigger picture of things. And eventually I'll help them with meal planning. And
okay, so I'm starting to see a form taking place here. I've initially come to see Dr. Chris because I have health issues and I'm overweight, and Dr. Chris has assessed my health issues and has given me medication that helps me with my appetite. That's kind of freed me from that attachment to food that I've had. And then I'm going on to you, and now you're educating me on the kinds of food that are available out there and the choices that I can make that can support me taking more responsibility for my health. Okay, that's great. So, Dr. Otto, you've been doing this for many years now. How many people like me have you seen come through your doors and successfully carried through weight loss and sustainable weight loss through the rest of their lives?
You won't believe it. I'll say thousands.
Thousands. Wow.
It started the first year in practice.
Which was?
I had a patient, just the sweetest person in the world. She was the biggie. She was the Dickie Frau, the big lady. And she was married to the little Jack Sprat. And that medicine we gave her just changed her to where she was able to eat about half as much as she used to. And it changed to, back then we didn't have all the microwaves and all of that, and so she did pretty good with her food preparation. But it was later on, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 years later, I ran into her. And I saw her, and she gave me the hug you wouldn't believe. Not only that, but I gave her the hug. It was so awesome, and she kept all that weight off. So the medication does several things, and I would say, I don't know how many thousands of people we've seen. I'm happy with, like I said before, 5, 10, 15% weight loss. But once in a while we run into this thing where she got down to about 184, something like that. She must start about 350. And we have some pictures of patients in our office who have lost that much. But the medicine has that effect of lowering your set point. So when you sit to eat, you'll eat about half what you used to. It helps stop the cravings. It helps stop binge eating. Look, what if you had to take a diet pill, what would you want? That's what you'd want. Now this is a stimulant, and I compare it to coffee. Okay? You take it too close to bedtime, you don't sleep. You take too much, you get jittery. So we've got to find exactly the right dose where you feel terrific, where all these things that are nagging you are better. And then the final thing was research is being done right now with brown fat and white fat. White fat just sits there. And that's what happens when you gain this weight. You have this fat that just, brown fat is metabolic fat. It's burning. It wants to burn more fat. And the research that's done recently is when people start losing weight, the brown fat starts to work better. And Chris will say this. This medicine helps you with fat burning. We'll have patients come in and they may not lose measure on the scale, but we can measure them and they lose inches. That fat is shrinking. So we get an effect. What a wonderful effect to get out of this medication. Now, this medication has side effects like everything else. It does not have a black box warning. A black box warning is from the FDA on a medicine that should not be used either at all or with very close observation or with pregnancy or whatever. No black box warnings. This medicine is safe, especially in our hands, because we do see you. We do check you. We check your blood pressure and your blood sugars and your lipids. We do all those things for you. So all these years I've been doing this. I love it. I can't tell you what it has meant to me and my patients. I see patients all around town all the time.
So
if I might, I wanted to interject here. In 1963, when you started,
yeah,
we've seen an evolution in the clinic over that time, and you'll agree with me. The evolution is science catches up. Nutrition science back in 1960s was completely different than it is today. We were terribly wrong.
Yes.
In the 60s and 70s with the science and what we were recommending people eat. But there was one constant in our clinic from back when he started that gave us success no matter what the recommendations were from the scientific community. And that one constant was we used that medication to help those people bring their set point down, like they could eat less. They thought differently about food. They started to quell those cravings, and that addiction was much easier, more manageable. And that's the one constant that's allowed us to have success. Now, as we have caught up with nutritional science, and you know this, we've gotten better. The medicine still helps, but now we can use that nutrition change to continue to burn fat, just like exercise and the medication, so that we have a lot of other tools in the box now. But the one constant has been